Hey guys, this is your video about important stuff from Unit 1, Geometry.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Ashika.
Danny's recording and
Tech support.
yeah, it's DJ.
Tech support. So the first concept that we're going to talk about is reflection across the x-axis. So x and y, your coordinates turn into x, negative y.
Okay, then I guess the next thing is reflection over the y-axis. Xy converts to negative xy. Reflection across the line y equals x. Xy turns into yx.
An angle bisector is a ray that congruently divides an angle. A perpendicular bisector is a line perpendicular to a segment's midpoint.
So translations and rules. Xy is x plus h, y plus k.
Rotations and rules. Okay, so for 90 degrees, xy turns into negative yx. 180 degrees turns to from xy turns to negative x, negative y. And 270 degrees goes from xy to y, negative x.
Properties of congruence. The reflexive property, AB is congruent to AB. Symmetric property, if AB is congruent to CD, then CD is congruent to AB. Transitive property, if AB is congruent to CD and CD is congruent to EF, and AB is congruent to EF.
Triangle proofs and theorems. Well, side is all sides of one triangle are congruent. Side angle side is when two sides and one angle are congruent. Angle side angle is when two angles and one side are congruent.
Triangle sum theorem is the sum of the angle measured in a triangle is 180 degrees.
Okay. Isosceles triangle theorem. It's a triangle that has two congruent sides called legs.
The midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2.
The distance formula is square root of x2 minus x1 to the power of 2 plus y2 minus y1 to the power of 2.
Midsegment theorem is the midsegment of a triangle is parallel to the third side of a triangle and is half as long as the third side.
Medians, a line segment whose endpoints are a vertex of the triangle and the midpoint of the opposite side of the vertex.
Area formulas. Circle, A equals pi r squared. Triangle is 1/2 times base times height, and rectangle is just base times height.
Lateral area theorems are for prism, it's P times H, and for pyramid, it's half PL.
Excuse me.
Surface area formulas. Prism is 2b plus pH. Pyramid is b plus 1/2 times PL. And the sphere is 4 pi r squared.
Volume formulas. Prism is B times H. A cone / pyramid is 1/3 BH. A sphere is 4/3 times pi times r cubed.
A point identifies a location and is named by a capital letter.
A line is a straight path that has no thickness and extends forever.
A plane is a flat surface that has no thickness and extends forever.
A ray is part of a line that starts at an endpoint and extends forever.
A segment is part of a line consisting of two endpoints and all the points between them.
Segment addition postulate. It's a midpoint that, a midpoint is the point that cuts a segment in half.
Angle is a figure that is formed by two sides with common endpoints called the vertex.
Acute angle is an angle that measures greater than 0 degrees but is less than 90 degrees.
A right angle is an angle that measures 90 degrees.
Obtuse angle is an angle that measures more than 90 degrees but is less than 180 degrees.
A straight angle is an angle that measures 180 degrees and is formed by two opposite rays that share a common endpoint.
A complementary angle is two angles whose measure have a sum of 90 degrees.
A supplementary angle is an angle or angles that are two angles whose measure have a sum of 180 degrees.
Adjacent angles are two angles that share a common vertex and a common side.
A linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite rays.
Vertical angles are two non-adjacent angles formed by two intersecting lines.
The Pythagorean theorem in a right triangle is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and c is the measure of the hypotenuse.
A coordinate plane. It's a plane consisting of a horizontal number line and a vertical number line.
A slope is the vertical change of a line over the horizontal change of a line.
Parallel. So line segments or planes are parallel if they never intersect. So like that.
Perpendicular are line segments or planes that are perpendicular if they intersect from right triangles. So yeah. That's it?
That's it.
Wow,
Yay!
that's not like
Okay, so parallel lines are basically lines that don't ever intersect. So if you ever see it on a graph, it's just basically going to be like that.
And perpendicular lines are lines that do intersect and they create a 90-degree angle. So like
The 90-degree angle would be like somewhere.
yeah.
Isosceles triangle, and that's basically a triangle with two sides that are the same, and then one is like ridiculously long. And yeah.
Okay, now on to examples for our video. Our first thing will be in proofs, and well, we are given that on this two triangles that line segment FE is congruent to line segment BC, and that line segment AB is parallel to line segment ED, and that line segment AF is parallel to line segment CD. Now for answering it, what you want to do first is write down what we already are given. So write down that line segment AB is parallel to line segment ED. Then you would want to write the other thing you were given, that line segment AF is parallel to line segment CD. Now we're going to use the rule that alternate interior angles of parallel lines are congruent, which gives us that measured angle ABF is congruent to measured angle CED. Now we can write our other given, which is line segment FE is congruent to line segment BC. And one more time, we're going to use the alternate interior angles of parallel lines are congruent to give us that measured angle AFB is congruent to measured angle CED. And then the angle side postulate gives us that measured triangle ABF is congruent to measured triangle CED. Next we'll be doing centroids, and well, I'm going to walk you through this problem and we're just going to do it logically.
As you can see in this diagram, point A is at 0, 0, point B is at negative 6, 0, my bad, and C is at negative 3 and 3. Now, just look at the diagram and we can figure this out. So, the centroid is the center of the triangle, and as we can see in this one, the center of the triangle is negative 3 and 1. Well, you could do this by going 3 over and going 1 up, and you can see that it's directly in the center of the triangle. So that's why the answer is C.